Hey guys, so this is going to be a really quick tutorial on setting up the dynamic rain overlay system for any given material inside Unreal Engine 4. So this is the level that comes with the Marketplace pack. If I go ahead and pop open the material, right now this doesn't have any of the rain apply. That's what we're going to be doing here in a second. You'll notice this is pretty much what ships with stock Unreal. It's the stock concrete tile material. So if I just go ahead and expand this, basically the idea is that we're going to create an interface to take existing albedo, specular, roughness, and normal inputs, modify them, and then plug it back into our material. And then any material instances will also have those parameters exposed so that you can tweak them per object, basically. So if I go into my content browser and I go to the root of this folder, we'll see two separate files here. These are kind of the example files in here. This is the core of where all the work's being done, and then these are our four textures which we use in this material function. So if I go back here, we have a material parameter collection. This drives all of the rain, this rain amount. So this could easily be interfaced with something like TrueSky. TrueSky has I believe it's get rain at location node in Blueprint. And so you could just drive this value and it will change the rest of the scene in real time. But if we go back here, this is the core material function that handles pretty much everything. So if we go and drag this into our material, we'll see that it has four pretty standard outputs and four standard inputs along with a bunch of scalar parameters and booleans to control whether or not certain parameters are enabled, and also the inputs for those textures. So what I like to do is just double click on all of these inputs that we can modify, which in this case are only the albedo, roughness, and normal map. If you are using custom specular, you can also put it in a specular map, but given that this one's just at the default 0.5, there's no need to input that. So I then just line this up approximately to where it's good, and then I just drag albedo into there. This one's a roughness, drag that into roughness, and this is our normal into normal. And then from there, we just do albedo to albedo, specular to specular, roughness to roughness, and normal to normal. So right now it's all kind of set up there, but the rain, it's there and it's functional, but we ideally would tweak it per material variation. I'll just go and save this and just see what it looks like in our level. So it's there. You can look at it, but it's pretty basic right now. There's a lot of control over the look and feel of it. We have puddle smoothness, which we'll just go ahead and expose each of these to a scalar parameter really quickly, just so we can tweak them. And just kind of go through what each of these do. Almost done. And ideally this would be just done on your master material, and you would control the settings on all of your material instances, since these would all propagate down. So let's just go ahead and save this, and it probably will break the material since I do have some decent starting values for these. When they all get set to 0, it doesn't look too good. So we'll start right away with I guess our wetness strength. We'll just increase that maybe to around 5, just so that we get some specular in there, and then we'll just continue to tweak stuff. It's kind of difficult to get an idea of what you can't really change one and have it look good. So this wetness is basically like a puddle effect that can be tiled across your object. I should also note that this only gets applied to stuff that is on a certain normal. So the walls here aren't receiving rain because it wouldn't make too much sense for that wall to receive rain. Um, so you can see kind of how it slowly fades in there. So this is like our puddle, our wetness tiling. We can, of course, tile this in world space. You can notice how there's some minor seam issues here. If we go and set this to world tiling, and then recompile, it should eliminate that. And also the scale gets a little bit crazy, but it does remove the seam. Now, of course, if this object is moving, you probably wouldn't want to use this because this is a world space projection and not an object space one. So, yeah. But let's go ahead and disable that really quickly for now and just set this back to, I think around 5 was good before. And so that's the world space tiling, the wetness tiling, and the wetness strength. This, obviously will change how intense the puddle effect is. And then droplets. So we'll scale droplets up until we get something that looks interesting. So this probably is a little bit. There we go. So you get this nice little droplet effect, like rain hitting the ground. If you don't want it to be animated, you can set it to use static droplets, which could look good in some circumstances. It overall looks a lot fuller, as you can see, but that's that. Obviously change the tiling to fit your needs. Puddle smoothness. So on this area where the wetness is applied, it sometimes is preferable to have the normals beneath it smoothed out. So you can see how if I increase this to 1, the normals for the concrete beneath are completely occluded. If I go to our buff visualization, that should be apparent. So you can see how those texture normals get occluded. Geometry normals, obviously, since it's modeled in, they won't be changed, but the texture normals will. So it's ideal if you're looking to really get a nice, deep puddle effect. But if it's something on the surface or you don't want to lose some of that micro detail, you can scale this down. So the last one is this droplets on puddles. So normally, if you have really deep puddles, you wouldn't see the droplets. You expect it to be occluded. But if you don't want that and you want droplets on your puddles, just tick this and you go ahead and you'll get your droplets on the puddles as well. So that kind of concludes this tutorial. I would recommend just having this on a single master material that you then create instances of for all your game objects. I'll do another tutorial and upload it here shortly on how to integrate this with TrueSky so that you can drive these material parameters through TrueSky and have it so that when stuff rains in TrueSky, your materials change as well. Alright, thank you for watching.